Hello there, team. Hey, this quick video today is going to talk about a new feature Redline just added in Crimson 3.2 latest build, which is I'm running build, what is this, 1032? Yeah, 1032. And this is a new thing they added where you can add stars or asterisks to an entered field so that the operator can't see what they entered, like a password thing. So for instance, watch this example. I'm going to go over here to the left, data tags. I'm going to create an ASCII string by hitting, there's many ways to do this, but I get this little pull down arrow here. I'll create a string tag, tag one right there. This is the tag. I'm going to rename this for this. I'll call it password, for instance. Just going to call it password. Now, this tag, when it shows up on the screen, I want it to show up as star symbols or asterisks. So if I go to the Format tab, and on the Format tab down here where it says Format Tag General, I'm going to hit the pick button. I'm going to declare this as a numeric, or not numeric, string type. Sorry, string type here. Click OK. When I do that, down here, I get access to this new thing called string type. And default is normal. But if I hit the pull down, I can declare this as a password. All right. So if I go over here to display pages, let me show this in operation. I'll go to the right. I'm going to drag this guy out here like this, and I'll make this be bigger. And then if you know this shortcut, click away, you hover over, you click one time, this goes to box, comes up. This button here is the quick start for the data entry. This one here, boom, 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 make the font bigger, and this one bolds it. Now, I do have a little rule in all the classes I teach, and that is if I have a field on the display page that I want the operator to type in, I always like to give it a border. So I'm going to go the long way. I double click, and on the data tab here, that data entry is the same as that little button used in the pop-up. But if I go to the Edge tab, let me go to the Edge. I'll make it be 3 or 4, and I'll make it red for my border. There we go. Click OK. All right, let's test it. Let's download emulator. So here I am. I click here, and I can just type in letters. And notice the asterisk symbols. So that's partially one here that I want to do. But let's go a step further. Let's say that, hey, before I can move on to something else, I want to make sure that the operator entered the correct text. And to do this part, I'm going to go over here to the right or left side, go to programs, and I'm going to go ahead and create a new program. And I'm going to ask the question, if, open parentheses, I'm going to go over here to the right. I'll drag this. You can type it, but I'll drag it. I'm not that good at typing, so I'll just drag it. Space. Since I want to ask the question, does it equal something? I'm going to put 2 equal signs. That insinuates I'm asking the question, does it equal? And since it's a text, I'm going to do double quotations, that their symbol. And I want to ask, does it equal, say, hello, for instance? So I'll type out hello like this, all capitals, end quotations. Notice it turned green. Since that's the question, I'm going to put an end parentheses. So that's the question. Hit enter. I'll tab across. I'm going to do open brackets. And then I'll enter, 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 close brackets. That way those two match. And then between here, if that is correct, matches, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to type a tag called correct, and I want to assign it to a 1. So I'm going to put 1 equal sign there, and a number 1 and a semicolon. So that's the equation or the result. Now, if this is not correct, then I want correct to equal 0 if it didn't match hello. If password didn't match hello, I should say it like that. Then I'll type else, like this. I can't spell else today. And I'm going to say correct, in this case, equals 0. Means it didn't match. Okay? So that's my code. I'm going to go ahead and compile. This button here is to translate. I'll click that. Boom. Crimson is going to freak out because I do not have a tag called correct. Now, the correct tag in this case, yes, I could allocate an integer this, but I want it to be just an on-off or a Boolean state. So I'm going to make this be a flag tag like that. I'll click yes. Now I got a flag tag. Okay, so here's my program, but I want to check this whenever the operator puts this field in. So I'm going to go back to display pages. I'm going to double click on the password, that thing there. I'm going to double click on it or right click, go to properties. And if you notice, team, there's an entry tab. If I click on the entry tab, anytime somebody enters that text, I'm going to run that program. So if I go over here to the right side, programs, I'm just going to drag this down here, in this case, into the on entry complete when it's done. There's a lot of things you can do here, but in this case, whenever the operator enters, hits the enter button, I want to run that program. All right. Now we want to see the results of that. So I'm going to drag this correct out here like this. Once again, I'll click away, lose focus, hover over, boom, 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 boom. and this makes it data entry, which we're not going to do anything here, but we make this bigger so we can see it. All right, so let's try this out, and then I'll show you one more thing. So I'll go here, download it. So if I go ahead and put in here some text, I don't know, about run away or something, I'm just typing on here, whatever. Boom, you can see that says off. Let's put in this time the real thing. Hello, HELLO, enter, boom. Look, it's on. Okay, so that worked correct. Now, if I put in something different again, it should go off. What if, though, when they enter this in, I want this to be enabled, but then say 5 seconds later, I want it to go back off so that you could be doing something else to it or so forth. I don't want to stay enabled all the time. So if I go back to data tags on the left, if I click on the correct, here's the correct guy. If I go to the triggers tab for correct, remember whenever you click on something over here, everything in here focuses on that tag. So if I go to triggers, I could say, all right, listen, whenever that is active on, which is my program sets it, after say 5 seconds, so I'll put in 5,000 milliseconds here, 5 seconds, I want to turn correct back off. I can click the edit button here, which can bring up this small window like this, and you can drag this out here like this, boom, space, 1=0, enter. That'll do that. Now, some windows, when you hit the edit button, this comes in really small. You could do the same thing, team. Let me show you here. Delete this. If you happen to have a version of Windows that this is really small, you can't see it in, which half the classes I teach at that shows up. But if you hit the pull down here, you can say complex, which opens up this beautiful big window. And here I can do the same thing. I'll drag correct out here, boom, 0. But this time, because you're using kind of the C editor, you got to put a semicolon there. And instead of complex code, you could say reset correct, oops, back to 0, back to 0 after 5 seconds. All right, now when I hit enter, it's going to show that there. That's easier for the next guy to see who's debugging this. Okay, let's try this out. So let's go ahead and download it. Boom, there we go. Once again, if I put in some blah, 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 whatever text, you can see that that stays like that. But if I put in hello this time, HELLOW, boom, or WO. And now after 5 seconds, this thing should go off. Let's see, I'm not really counting. Hey, there you go, look at that. And of course, I wonder, does that retain? Oh, that's pretty sweet. So it still has it, but it doesn't actually go in. So what if I type, let's type this again here. Let's see here real quick. There it went. Oh yeah, it re-triggered. That's exactly what I want to see. At 5 seconds, that should go off. Oh, that's pretty cool. Anyway, just a new thing they added to Crimson on a string tag. On the format tab, you could declare it as a string, and you get access to this down here. This is only in Crimson 3.2.1032 or newer. It's a new feature they just added. Hey, thanks a lot, folks. Have yourself a great day. See you later.